You are welcome to From Single to Married with Zoe. Today, I'll be sharing something very important with you on compatibility and chemistry when it comes to building a healthy relationship and marriage. To be very honest with you, both compatibility and chemistry are very important in building a healthy marriage or relationship. But the truth is this: one is much more important than the other to an extent that if that is not in place, we can't build anything. The problem with this generation is they prefer to work on assumption than to learn the truth. That's why a lot of them are a victim of consistent heartbreaks today, and a lot of relationships are not working. You can't keep working on assumption and expect to achieve the desired result. It is practically impossible. Assumption is the mother that we always give back to all manner of frustration. That is the mother of all frustration. So if you are tired of frustration, consistent heartbreaks, and many more, it is time for you to sit tight and be ready to learn. When you know better, you will do better. Understand this. But when you are not informed, you will end up deformed. That is the situation of so many young people in this generation. Relationship or marriage is not something you just jump into, working on an emotion, working on assumption. No. Relationship and marriage that will work must be guided by wisdom. And you can't operate in wisdom without being enlightened. What do we mean when we mention compatibility? I know a lot of you must have heard about this, but I doubt if many of you can actually say anything on this. Compatibility is the alignment of lifestyle choices, value, communication style, financial habits, conflict resolution pattern, and mindset of two people. Compatibility is the alignment of lifestyle choices, value, communication style, financial habits, conflict resolution pattern, and mindset of two people. Emphasis on alignment. Alignment. It is two people that align that can actually build anything. The scripture says, can two people work together except they agree? So when we talk about alignment, we are talking about agreement. Two people joining themselves together, working in the same direction, working in the same path, thinking alike. Those are the two people that can actually build anything that will become healthy. Compatibility forms structural foundation that sustain a relationship throughout everyday challenges. One of the reasons why compatibility is very important is because life is full of challenges. Relationship will be full of challenges. Marriage will be full of challenges. So it is important for us to give attention to compatibility before we actually make a decision on who to go into relationship or marriage with. Because in the midst of challenges, it is difficult to work as one when you are not compatible. It is difficult to support and help each other when you are not compatible. It is difficult to live together, work together, move together, plan together when you are not compatible. And I can tell you, this is where a lot of people are missing it. Let's go into chemistry. What do we mean when we talk about chemistry when it comes to relationship and marriage? Chemistry represents the emotional connection present when two people are together. It is mainly driven by emotion. Let me say this again. Chemistry represents the emotional connection present when two people are together. It is mainly driven by emotion. Are we going to say it's not important? It is actually important because we are still emotional beings. But we can't run our life by emotion. We are limited when we operate by emotion. We are still human beings that we have emotions within us. We have things moving on within us. We are still reactive to emotions and so on. So it is important as well. But from the definition, you must have seen that one is much more important than one, even though the two are important. But let me say this. Both compatibility and chemistry are important in order to make your relationship or marriage work. But from the definition, you can see that if you jump into relationship or marriage based on chemistry, you are going to fail woefully, and you are going to end up entering into that relationship or marriage. You don't go into relationship just because chemistry wise you align. No. The first thing is compatibility. Compatibility majorly deals with the mindset. Majorly is a mindset issue, a mental work. It cuts across finance, value, vision, career, a lot of things. But you see, when we talk about chemistry, majorly the alignment in the aspect of emotional connection and so on. Compatibility is majorly a function of mindset. I think I need to talk about this mindset. Mindset simply refers to how our mind is set. Remember, your mind is very important, and that is the seat of decision making. Your mind is where decisions are being made. Your mind controls your life, and that's why we keep saying you can't be better than your mindset. You can't be greater than your mindset. You know why? Because your mindset controls your life. Man is a spirit with a soul and dwells in the body. Both the spirit, the soul, and the body of man is important. The spirit and soul cannot function without the body. Practically impossible. So we have to take care of our spirit, our soul, and our body. But you see, the soul, that is the CPU of man, is divided into intellect, emotion, and mind. The intellect for the gathering of knowledge. The intellect. When you talk about the mind, very important. Very important. That's where everything is being processed and the final decision is being taken. We talk about emotion, the five sense organ and so on. But the mind, that's where everything coming from any realm is being processed, and that's where decisions are being made. Now, whatever you have equipped your mind with is what controls your life. What you hear, what you watch, what you listen to, the discussion you have with people controls your life. So you can't be greater than what you allow to enter you, what you are watching, what you are discussing. That's why you can't be keeping company with people that think like a chicken and swallow like eagle in life. Practically impossible. Practically impossible. So when we talk about the mindset, majorly we are talking about how your mind is set. That determines your life. If your mindset is loaded with all the trash on social media, you will end up as a mediocre. But when your mindset is equipped and set with the mindset required to become successful and great in life, that's when you begin to operate with value, operate with clarity, operate with discipline, operate with various factors that is required to achieve success in life. You can't achieve success in life when you have not equipped yourself with the mindset required to become successful. You cannot become successful in marriage when you have failed to equip yourself with the mindset that is required to produce a healthy home. Practically impossible. So it is two people who have sat down, work on themselves, build the mindset required to make a relationship or marriage work that can come together and now make any marriage or relationship work. The problem with a lot of people is this: they focus on chemistry, and that's why they're facing heartbreaks every 3 months. That's the truth. Chemistry is easy to achieve, but it doesn't last long. So you need compatibility. In the midst of challenge, chemistry fails you. As time goes on, chemistry fails you. Ask people in marriage today. It's not every day they feel like liking each other or loving each other. I can tell you that's why commitment is vital. What majorly holds a marriage is much more than love. Number one thing that is important: commitment to marriage and your partner. Very important. There are days they don't feel like loving each other. It happens. A lot of factors can be responsible. I pray you understand all this we are saying. So compatibility is majorly a function of mindset. I can't be thinking A and somebody is thinking Z. We can never be compatible because I'll be reasoning like A, she'll be reasoning like Z. A and Z, our direction is different. So if we go into a relationship, we are going to be fighting every day, every day. You can't be someone that believes in spending prudently, and you are now in a relationship with somebody that believes in spending lavishly, you can't form a good relationship or marriage. Practically impossible, because your priorities are different, your mindset are different, your ways of doing things are different. You don't have to fight like give each other blow or abuse each other. No, before things scatter, the way you reason alone will scatter things because you will never agree on a lot of things. That's it. So two people who have sat down to build the mindset required to make relationship or marriage work, when they come together, it becomes easy for them to discuss, to communicate, to give attention, to give affection, to plan, to organize. Why? Because they are compatible. They are compatible. And that's why I tell people, you are in a relationship and you want to get things right going into marriage. You and your partner need to do something. You need to learn from the same source. Pick the same material. That's one of the major way to build your mindset. Pick the same material. The moment you are thinking of marriage, get the same material, read the same book, listen to the same audio on marriage, the same video teaching on marriage. Get one mentor or one visionary to mentor you. The guy should not be listening to Mr. G while the lady is listening to Mr. H. In fact, the truth is this: if you cannot agree on let's read this together, let's listen to this together, don't go into marriage. It's a major red flag that you are not compatible. There are proud people who will never submit, never. It's a sign that this one should not go into marriage with this one. When you are still in a relationship and you cannot agree on, okay, let's learn from this together, and the person is saying, no, that is not what I believe in, let me go and learn from that one. It's a sign that you cannot work together in marriage, because you'll be going together into the institution of marriage where you are expected to make decisions together. You are expected to organize together. You are expected to plan together. Now, when you get into marriage and you are saying this and you say, hey, let's go, no, things will not work. But by the time you have sat down, learn the same thing. When you go into marriage, in fact, when you want to discuss anything, you are going to be meeting on the same page. So this is why most marriages of today are not working. Because many people are in marriage, but they are not on the same page. They don't think alike, they don't reason alike, they don't believe the same thing, and they are in marriage. This is why we keep telling you that love alone is not enough. Please, if you are listening to me, I beg you, don't ever go into marriage with anyone just because you love the person. Love alone is not enough. There are other important factors that must be considered before you actually, make a decision of going into relationship and marriage with anyone. It is very important. No relationship or marriage can work or last when it is based on chemistry alone. Remember, when it is based on chemistry, it can last. It can last. Chemistry does not teach you how to plan financially. Chemistry does not teach you how to parent. It doesn't teach you how to resolve conflicts. It doesn't teach you how to set boundaries. There are so many marriages today that third party has destroyed the marriage. And it's because the people involved in the marriage lack the wisdom required to set boundaries. It is the two of you against every other person. You must protect each other. There must be boundary. Even parents must understand that there is boundary. Your parent cannot just, toss you here, toss you there. No. The moment you are married, it is between you and your partner. Your parents are welcome. Your siblings are welcome. Your friends are welcome. But they must understand that there is a boundary. There is a boundary. They must not go beyond that boundary. They cannot just put mouth in the issue of your family. No. Not understanding this is the reason why so many marriages of today are not working. What about finance? You don't just do your finance anyhow when you are married. There must be proper discussion before you go into marriage. This is how we plan to manage our finance. There must be discussion on parenting. This is how we will parent our kids. This is the number of children we want. What about vision? If somebody cannot support your vision, they don't try to go into marriage with that person. Let me say this. when it comes to marriage, support is important too. So anyone that cannot support your vision is not qualified to go into marriage with you. Don't say you will do it alone. You may think you can do it alone before marriage. It is when you enter into marriage you will know that there is nothing called do it alone in marriage. The burden will kill you. But the support that should have relieved you, when that support is not available, you will die fast. You will die fast. So I said compatibility is majorly a function of mindset. Chemistry is majorly a function of emotion. The truth is both are important, but compatibility is much more important. Chemistry is important, but compatibility is much more important. So the alignment of mindset is exactly what enables two people to agree and work together. It is what enables them to plan, make wise decisions, and resolve conflict. Let me say this. There will be a lot of conflicts in marriage. It's normal. We are still human beings. We tend to misbehave at times, probably due to different reasons. It can be mood swings, it can be pressure at work, it can be, a lot of things can happen. That's why I keep telling you, don't ever see yourself as a perfect person. And always understand that your partner misbehave. That's why we need the wisdom required to resolve conflicts. The reason why some marriages are not working is because they were not expecting issues in those marriages. So when issues came on board, everything scattered. Some people, just because they love themselves, they believe there should be no issue. Let me say this, as long as you are dealing with human beings, the truth is this: human beings are not perfect. They are not immune against mistakes and error. So there will be issues. Anything can cause issue in the marriage. We are not even talking about cheating, domestic abuse, and we are not talking about those things. We are talking about just living with a human being. There will be issue because the human being is not perfect. Just the reaction can actually cause issue. And the reaction can be caused by different things. We are human beings and we go through a lot of things in life. The question is, how do you handle that issues when it shows up? Let me say this, there are people that you can never handle. You cannot tolerate, you cannot endure, no matter who you are. And there are people you can endure, you can tolerate, and you can manage. So in going into marriage, you have to go into marriage with somebody that you can tolerate, you can endure, you can handle. Not somebody, I love him, but when he gets angry, hey, no, don't do that. There is more to all I've said. There is more to all I've said. I can't say everything here. That's why I always tell you at the end of my teachings, in case you want to ask questions, you want to be more enlightened, just talk to me and I will be here to enlighten you. In conclusion, like I said, compatibility is very important. Chemistry is very important. But never make a decision based on chemistry. You will regret that decision. You will fall and you will fail woefully. Your decision should be based on compatibility. Alignment of mindset matters. You can't work together when you don't align. When you don't believe the same thing, you have not learned the same thing, your mind is not. It's easy. See, for those that want to get it right, it is easy. That's why there is preparation for marriage. You must be ready to prepare the same way you prepare for examination in school. No matter how brilliant you are, you can't be giving the lecturer things you think and expect the lecturer to mark you right. No. You must give the lecturer what the lecturer has taught you in class, and every other person must operate on that level. There must be agreement for every one of you to pass. So in marriage, there must be agreement, and it comes from this aspect of compatibility. So feel free to talk to me in case you want to ask questions, you want to make inquiries, or you need my service, and I'll be here to respond to you.